Andrew McCART, IFL TV, in association with MTK Global. I've got to say I'm very delighted to be joined by amateur heavyweight and GB star, I'm going to say, Delicious Orie. Now, Delicious, before we talk about boxing, I want to talk about your name because people might think, did you just call him Delicious? I did. That is your name, isn't it?
Yeah, that is my name. I get it all the time. Like
I bet you do.
Like people are like, what? People obviously don't know. Like, what? That's your actual name, and I have to explain it. Yeah, it's my name. The mad thing is, I don't even know. It's hard for me to explain it because my dad gave me that name, and he still hasn't actually told me why he's giving me that name. He just says, "Look, you will find out," and I just thought this is the right name for you. So yeah, I just had to kind of go with it.
Thing is, though, it stands out, which when you do sort of go at the Olympics, I know that's what your dream, and you do turn professional and stuff like that, you're going to stand out. Do you know what I mean? Which is a good way. It's a good. That's probably the reason for your dad's thinking is that.
Yeah, well, yeah. Obviously, that's the aim. That's the aim, is to stand out. But I hope it's not just the name.
Yep.
I stand out with my performance and my actual boxing. So it's definitely going to be one of the factors I stand out, but it won't be it all.
Won't be the main one, definitely.
It won't be the main one.
Delicious, you've got a very, very interesting background. Your upbringing and stuff like that. For people that don't know, before we do go into the boxing side of things, just break it down. Your sort of background and your history.
So I'm originally Russian, so I was born in Russia. So my mom is Russian, full Russian, and my dad's Nigerian. Mm-hmm. So my dad moved up to Russia when he was younger. He went up there to study. He met my mum, and then I appeared in Moscow. So I was born in Moscow. I grew up there. I lived there till the age of 7. So my first language, grew up there. That's all I knew. And then and we obviously came over here when I was 8 years old, and started a new life.
Going to the boxing side of things, boxing wasn't your main interest, was it? Because I have done a little bit. I've watched a couple of interviews you've done with the BBC and the Mirror, and just to get my own sort of background on you and stuff like that. But boxing wasn't your first interest, was it?
Yeah, no, it wasn't. No one in my family, boxes. I didn't know anyone that boxed before I boxed. So it was very, very, very new to me. When I started, when I younger, I started playing basketball. I found mad love for basketball when I was, I'd say about 10, 11. I just gave it a go. Wasn't the best at football, so I thought I'd try a different sport. Tried basketball, absolutely loved it, and I was like, mate, this is what I want to do. I want to do this properly. So I found the right team, and I was able to develop that athlete mindset and that kind of the respect for a sport through basketball at first, it all changed when I was about 18 years old.
Why then? What changed for you then? What made you go into the boxing gym for the first time, and what made you fall in love with boxing over basketball?
There was many things. There's many factors to it. Growing up, I've always had that dream of I was like, yeah, I want to be a basketball player, play in the NBA and stuff like that. And, I played. I had friends as well who had this share the same ambition and dream. One of my friends was able to get a scholarship and get to America and still be able to chase his dream and stuff. But when I hit the age of 17, 18, I thought I really sat down when I was in A levels, doing my A levels at 6th form. I really thought, what do I do with my life? What am I going to do? Because when I was growing up, my dad has always told me I need to go to university. Study is very, very important. So I made sure to put that as my priority. And I thought, if I take basketball on, I've got to move to America, and education might not be might not be put forward. I thought, what? Let me make my dad proud and carry on going to university and complete my degree. And to be honest, I've always wanted to box, but I was never given the opportunity to. Growing up, I was never really that kind of person. I wasn't that kind of person. Still not that kind of person that people think that boxers should be like. I was not aggressive. I was not involved in fights. I don't like conflict. Reserved myself kind of guy. But at the same time, there was something about boxing I was quite attracted to. I didn't really know much about it though. It was just something about it growing up that I wanted to do, but I never really got the opportunity to do it. But when I was 18 years old, I thought, you know what, I'll give it a try. And what really stood out to me at that point was when I was 18. AJ won, I think it was when he won his first world title against Charles Martin. And I was actually the first time I've ever heard of AJ. Never heard of AJ before.
Wow, really?
Never heard of AJ before. That's how clueless I was in boxing. I never even heard of AJ before. And when he won the belt, I thought, I want to do that. That looks good, man. That all that, everything that when he raised that belt, I was thinking that looked very, very attractive to me. I want that, and I didn't even know the difference between amateur and professional boxing then. I just said, I want that. That is it. So I walked into an amateur boxing club. Mom said, oh, there's a gym here, and that I've seen, and you should go give it a go. When I was 18, I walked in there. Didn't know the difference between amateur boxing and professional boxing. I just wanted to be a boxer. I just wanted to give it a go. And then obviously through that amateur boxing club, I was explained the difference between pro and amateur and the different routes you can take. Then I did a lot more research on, AJ and other super heavyweights that have competed in the past, and with professional, with amateur boxing. So Joe Joyce and all those guys. Even Wilder, for example. I've done a lot of research, and I thought, hey, these guys have started late. All these guys have started late, fairly, classed as late in boxing. 18 years old is fairly late, and look at the level that they're able to reach. And it really hit me, like when I was 18, it really touched me, and I thought, I want to be able to do that. And if they can do that, I can do that. Obviously, I wasn't, I knew that there was a lot of hard work into it. I wasn't ignorant. I knew and understood that there was a lot of hard work, but I was willing to do whatever it took to achieve that. So that's when my boxing journey began at 18. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's good. Like, even AJ started at 18. He started.
Yeah.
So do you draw inspiration from guys like Joe Joyce and AJ? Because AJ is obviously a unified world champion, and you've got Joe Joyce now, who's like, his stock has just risen after the Dubois win, British, European, and stuff like that champion. So do you draw inspiration from these two guys? And what kind of advice have these two guys given you?
100%. I've had that kind of inspiration from them. Especially AJ. Like, he made me believe that it's possible. Like, if you work, sometimes if you work hard at something, you might not achieve it because of certain things, or what I mean. But when I seen AJ do it and watched his path and how he's able to achieve it, I thought, if he can do it, I understand that there's hard work, but I want to achieve that, and because he's done it, I can do it. And he's really kind of made me feel that, and that really pushed me on, especially in the early stages when I didn't know anything about boxing. It really pushed me on to kind of learn, absorb as much information as possible, get into these competitions, compete, and become known. So yeah, they're definitely massive inspirations. Even like Deontay Wilder, he started late. Again, there's another heavyweight that started late. He again was another inspiration. So all these people they had something in common, which is you can start late as long as you work hard and you have the kind of determination and willpower. And I know it sounds all cringy and like obvious, but they made me feel that, and that's basically the path I decided to take.
People are starting to I know you're in the GB squad now. Your ambition is to go to Paris to win gold, but you're not a UK citizen, is that right? Just now, or something along those lines?
Yeah. So technically now I am. I was able to my British citizenship has been successful and that, so it's just a bit of red tape. I'm waiting for my actual passport to come through, so technically now I am, but over the past couple of years it hasn't really been a thing, a thing that's come to mind, or a thing that I need to get. So it's just like, but now I realized I needed to get it in order to be able to compete for GB and be able to represent GB, and especially in the Olympics and that. So yeah,
you're obviously amateur boxing, walked into an amateur boxing club. Now you're in the GB squad. You've set yourself a goal now to win a gold medal in the Olympics in Paris 2024. Is that right?
Yeah, that's the aim. That's the goal. That is the aim. Yeah, that's the route I want to take. Because I realize, because like I said, 18, it's a late age, but it doesn't mean it's not possible to achieve big great things, and obviously it has been done. But you need to respect. Well, I think I need to respect the game, and I need to really learn the craft of boxing. And it takes many, many, many years. I don't want to be in a position where I'm learning kind of on the job, as a pro. And I'd like to believe I'm smart enough to understand that and kind of just be a student of the game until the time is right. And I feel the time is right would be when I'm able to get this international amateur elite experience, and then really be able to become a respectable, a respectful pro.
I don't. I want to be one of these journalists or guys that I don't want to put pressure on your shoulders, but people have compared you or comparing you to Anthony Joshua in terms of the Olympics and then going on and becoming behind him from the GB squad to follow on in his footsteps and become that unified world champion and being these mega fights, sell at Wembley. Do you feel any pressure yourself? Because you're going to get it quite a lot from guys like me are going to put
Yeah,
pressure
yeah,
on your shoulders and say, Anthony Joshua.
yeah,
Do
yeah,
you
yeah.
feel pressure being compared to Anthony Joshua?
You know what? I think I'll be lying if I say I don't feel a little bit of pressure, because it's a big thing. It's a massive thing to be compared to someone, especially someone who I proper look up to as well.
Yeah.
It is a big thing, but at the same time, as I'm getting into this kind of athlete lifestyle, I'm starting to understand that it's all this pressure, all this pressure that I put on myself is the pressure I put on myself. It's pressure I put on myself. It's not real,
Yeah.
And as long as I'm able to understand that, which I am, I'm coming to grasp with it. I'm starting to understand that it is pressure I'm putting on myself. It's not really kind of bothering me as much, and I feel like as long as I keep on doing what I'm doing, for me, it's whatever happens, happens. As long as I'm working hard, which I am, and I'm putting 100% in, that's all I can do, and that's the best that I'm going to do. But I wouldn't say that there's a lot of pressure for me. Not really.
So obviously you've got this goal in your head to become Olympic champion, but in terms of your boxing career, what is your goal? I mean, is it to become world champion, unified world champion, even undisputed world champion? Because Britain, we've had some of the best heavyweights the world has seen, guys like Lennox Lewis, now Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury. Do you know what I mean? We've had big names of the sport coming through in the heavyweight division. So what is your ultimate goal as a boxer in this sport?
My ultimate goal is to unify the division. That's like top. That's when I'm able to do that, and I'm happy. I'm a happy guy, and as well as that, kind of leave something behind. It's not just all about getting all the belts and stuff. It's kind of doing what AJ has done to me. Do you know what I mean? Or these other these other heavyweights that are now currently, dominating the heavyweight division have done to me, which is inspire the younger generation and make them kind of believe and understand that it is possible to achieve that dream. All you have to do is just be consistent and work hard. And growing up, I never had that until 18. Until I hit 18, that's when it hit me. So I want to. That's one thing as well. I want to be able to achieve is let these the youths know that it is possible. It's not all like lost hope at whatever age.
I want to ask as well because I'm quite intrigued. Like you said that your dad's not confrontational. You don't like conflict and stuff like that. So when you first went into this boxing gym and you put the head guard on for the first time, you put the gum shield in for the first time, and you got that bat in the face. Like, what was your initial reaction when you got punched in the face for the first time?
For the first time, I remember it. To be honest, to be honest, I was in the boxing gym for about 3 months before I was allowed to spar. It was about 3 months or 2 months actually before I was actually about to spar. But I was really eager to get in there and feel it. And again, when you start, before you box, you feel, I don't know if you've had this, but before you box, there are people that haven't boxed before. They just feel like they can take on anyone. You know, I'm a big man, I can take on anybody. When you box, honestly, or when you spar, do 2 minutes in a ring, you proper humble yourself, don't you? You proper like you get humbled.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's exactly what happened to me. I was humbled. I'm not saying I was cocky or anything, but I was very confident with very little knowledge. But I was very much humbled. But I didn't really let that, get to me in terms of, I didn't let that stop me. Obviously, I just let that kind of push me on, and I just kind of battled through it. So yeah, when I started, it was rough, but it was the motivation that was much greater than the temporary pain I was feeling, during spars. Sometimes back then, the motivation was much heavier, and I was just powering through it, no problem. Taking whatever I needed to take in order to achieve what I'm set out to do.
Definitely. Going back to your dad as well, he, like you said, he doesn't like conflict and stuff. I read another article when you said that. So how does he feel about you boxing then?
When I started, I still remember the conversation I was having with him. We can even bring it up with him now. He'd be like, I remember when I started, I was like, Dad, I'm going to start boxing. And he was like, you see, my dad is obviously Nigerian, and he's very much like, he likes to protect his kids. He's going to make sure to protect them. And you can't do that. You can't. You're soft. You can't do that. What happened to this and what. So I made sure. When I first spoke to him about it, he wasn't having it. He was not having it. It was like, no, or he was thinking, this is just going to be a phase. 1 or 2 weeks, he'll do something else. But over time, I kind of showed him that, through the work that I was doing, the training. And when he came to my first competition as well, I think he realized, damn, this guy wants it bad. And so yeah, since then he's my number one fan, my number one supporter, and he's supporting me to go all the way to the top. And I have to say, now, especially now, without him, it will be very, very difficult. The support he gives me is immense. Without him, it will be very difficult to be able to carry on the way I'm, doing now in training. So from a point where he wasn't supporting when I started, for the right reasons as a dad, I understand. But now where he's given his full support, and care and attention, it's crazy over the space of like 4 years.
That's good to know, man. That's definitely good. But going back to like the Nigerian side of things as well, are you compared to Joshua with the night, because he's from Nigerian descent as well, isn't he, AJ?
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Even that, like, as well. That gave me a little. There was that extra little kind of connection with him. Through the TV, like, oh yeah, he's also Nigerian. He's also got that kind of root. And again, that connected to me even more. And I got kind of inspired even more to kind of follow his footsteps.
I've got to ask you as well then, because right now heavyweight boxing is booming right now, and two British heavyweights hold all the titles, in Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua. Now, I'll probably going to put you on the spot a little bit here, but it's my job. Your thoughts on that fight, Joshua versus Tyson Fury? You might be a little bit biased, but I'm going to ask, who wins for you, and what's your thoughts on the fight?
See, in my opinion, I think AJ wins.
Mm.
I think AJ wins, but at the same time, I do like Fury. I think he's very, very skilled boxer. I just think AJ, he's stronger, and he will be ready for that fight. But as you might say, you think I might be a little bit biased, but no, I respect both fighters. I really, really do. But I just think AJ has it in the bag.
Do you think you can stop him?
Potentially, you never know. It's heavyweight boxing. You never know. I think potentially. So yeah. I just think he wins. Whether he stops him or not, I'm not too sure. But because Fury is very, very skilled, and he would know what to do, and what to do at the right times. But I just think AJ would have it.
See, when you look at guys like Fury and AJ, they're 30 now. They're in their 30s. The world champions. They've probably got maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 fights left in their career. There's going to be that gap for the new talent to come through. Now we've got Joe Joyce. He's obviously younger in fights, if that makes sense. He's got less fights and then he's turned pro late and he turned like he's gradually building, but he is in his 30s as well. You got Daniel Dubois who's young, but there's a gap there for a young British heavyweight to come through. Do you know what I mean? Is that you? Are you going to fill that gap and become the Britain's next heavyweight superstar?
100%. I don't know when this gap is or whatever. Whenever it's my time, it doesn't matter if there's other heavyweights there. When it's my time, when I turn pro, that's when I'm gonna take over. It doesn't matter if there's a gap or whatever gap. It doesn't matter to me. It's like when it's time for me to turn pro, that's when I know that okay, I'm not gonna turn pro because of anybody else. I'll turn pro because I'm ready to go. You know, it's not because he's 30 and you know I'm 27. It doesn't matter. Yeah. I'm turning pro when you know I'm experienced enough, when I've you know represented GB and you know able to get that world class international experience to then be able to dominate the heavyweight division.
Definitely. Well, Delicious, I won't keep you much longer because I do appreciate you taking time out on your Saturday evening to speak to me. But give the people watching this video a reason why they should keep their eye on Delicious Orie.
Because you're gonna see big things. You're gonna see very, very big things. They will come, but it just takes time. But it will come. Big things will come. Remember the name, Delicious Orie.
It'll definitely be hard to forget. Delicious. This is,
yeah.
Like I say, thank you so much for taking time out on your Saturday evening to speak to me. Hopefully this is the first of many interviews. Yeah. Good luck with your boxing career. I'm going to be following. I do follow the GB squad, so I have heard of you and stuff like that. All the guys like Sean and all that, they say they've got high praises for you as well. So stay safe, man, and hopefully we'll get back to fighting very soon.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you for your time.
Anytime, brother. Thank you.